Now, we are all very excited about The Walking Dead Dead City. I am personally really excited because Negan is actually at the forefront of the show. Now, in today's video, I'll be explaining who is the Croat, why does he kidnap Herschel, and who is actually behind this, because they revealed that the Croat is the main villain, but I do believe, and my theory is that something more sinister is happening in the background of this show, so stay tuned. Now, before we actually get into the video, I would like to ask you all to subscribe, like, and share this video, because I worked really hard on this video, and I would just appreciate if you click that subscribe button. Thank you. Now let's get into the video. Now, in promotional materials and trailers of this show, they keep on using this line over and over and over again, where Maggie states to Negan that he is the key to get back Herschel. Now, why is he the main key to get Herschel back? It's because of the Croat. It is revealed that the Croat is the main villain of the show, and he is the one that actually kidnaps Herschel. But they also did reveal that the Croat has a really big connection to Negan. Why does he have a big connection to Negan? It's because he was a former savior, and you could see that in promotional materials, his ear is damaged or cut off or whatever. So it actually seems that they're going to show flashbacks as his time as a savior, where hopefully we could even see Simon as well. And maybe Negan screwed him over in some way, or if he killed his family, or if he gave him a punishment, as like how he did with Dwight by burning his face. The Croat could have gotten a punishment where Negan took his ear. And it's because of this connection, Maggie does see that Negan is the key to get back Herschel, because of course the Croat is a former savior, and maybe Negan might know how to deal with him, or if Negan should go and confront him. But I really do like that about this show, because it shows that Negan has affected more people than we know, and it is a nice way for him to face his past. Now, why did the Croat take Herschel out of all people? Because if he wanted to affect Negan, he should have taken Annie and their child, which could still be the case. But why Herschel? Well, I think that there is something more sinister going behind the scenes, and this is a nice way to connect all the spin-offs and to explore the broader Walking Dead universe. Now, who do I think is behind all of this? I personally think that it's the CRM, aka the Civic Republic Military, and they instructed the Croat, or they have some sort of hand behind Herschel's kidnap. Why do I think that CRM is behind this? It's because the Walking Dead universe is going in this direction where the CRM is the big bad of the whole universe, right? They probably have a hand behind Daryl Dixon getting kidnapped or making it to France somehow. In the Rick Grimes and the Michonne spinoff, it's revolved all around the CRM, and they took Rick Grimes and they put him as a prisoner or a labor worker. And I do think that they also will have a part in this show, in Dead City. It's because I believe in the Walking Dead World Beyond, it's shown in a map that the CRM also has a base in New York. Now, do I think that they instructed the Croat to kidnap Herschel? Or if they gave some sort of equipment to the Croat, or if they gave him resources to pull this off, or if the Croat's even a CRM soldier, or if he's working for them. Now, it would be very interesting to see that, and I do think that they're going into this direction where the CRM is going to be behind all of these shows, especially the Rick Grimes and Michonne spinoff, but they haven't really confirmed if the CRM is going to have any presence whatsoever in Dead City, but I personally do think that they will. It's because they want to connect all these spinoffs, they want to tie it up really nicely, and the Croat being in this show and being a former savior, potentially going to the CRM, like how Jadis went to the CRM. Maybe he traded somebody in, or if he bumped into them in New York, or if he just pledged allegiance to them, who knows. But in the back of his head, he always wanted revenge on Negan for whatever he did. Now, it's very unusual for the CRM to take Herschel, who is a child or a teenager. It's because the CRM, which is also stated in World Beyond, and it's stated in Season 9 of The Walking Dead when Jadis traded off Rick, that the CRM has a way to identify who they're going to take. So an A is somebody that's bitten and is going to turn into a walker, and they're going to be taken to a CRM base for experiments. Or a B, or in Rick Grimes' case, that he was injured, he was damaged, and he was a good leader also, and they took him, but he wasn't bitten, so they took him for labor or to work for them. Also, Negan and Gabriel were about to be taken by the CRM when Jadis was about to trade them off, but she promised them an A, which was going to be Negan or Gabriel, where she was about to make them get bitten, and the CRM was going to swoop in and, do experiments on them. And also, it would be very nice for Negan to see a CRM helicopter, or to see the logo, if he was able to see it in Season 8, that he recognizes these people, and it kind of wakes up a fear in him that how big is this group? If they have a helicopter, and if they're even in New York as well, how big are they truly? And Negan might want to get into the bottom of this, and Maggie might help him out on that as well. Now, this might be an out there theory, but it is a speculation video. And my theory is that Herschel is going to be kidnapped by the Croat, traded off into the CRM. Why? It's because Pamela Milton is behind this. Now, Pamela Milton, when she was about to lock up Lance Hornsby or kill him or whatnot and make him disappear in Season 11 in the Commonwealth arc, Lance did state that if they were to kill him, or if he were to disappear, associations with the Commonwealth, like trading partners or whatever, would come after the Commonwealth, and they would be screwed, to put it bluntly. Now, Lance is dead, Pamela's locked up. Who is in charge of the Commonwealth? It's Mercer and Ezekiel. Now, Pamela Milton could find some way to contact the CRM to let them know that, these people are behind this. These people are the main cause of Lance's death, and the CRM won't take that really nicely. So she could put the blame on this group, and she could also let them know that, Maggie's son is like the key for reeling in Maggie and Negan as well. So it'd be really interesting to see that, and it'd be a great callback to Season 11, and to keep the show still very relevant, and to keep the Commonwealth arc really relevant in this show. Now, what do I think happened to Annie and Negan's child? Now, this show does take place 5 years after the finale of The Walking Dead, and it seems that Negan and Maggie have changed drastically as characters, especially Negan, because in the synopsis of the show it does state that Negan is going to go back to his old ways, aka Season 7 and Season 8 Negan. Now, Negan promised himself that he wouldn't go back to these ways, he wouldn't be that sort of man anymore. Now, what do I think happened to Annie and his kid? So, if Negan were to go back to his old ways, the reasoning behind that would be that if Annie died, or if their child died. Now, I think that both of those scenarios did happen. I think Annie and Negan's child did die within that span of 5 years, and the Croat could very well be behind this, which gives Negan another reason to go to New York, to go to Manhattan, right? To take revenge on the Croat and to actually confront him. Now, if the Croat did kill Negan's wife and child, why would he do that, right? And that goes back to the point I made in the start of this video, that the Croat probably lost somebody because of Negan or the Saviors. And I personally do believe it's Simon that's behind the death of the Croat's family, or if the Croat's family were affected by the Saviors, I do think that Simon does have a hand behind it, because we do learn in The Walking Dead Season 8 All Out War that Simon was doing stuff behind Negan's back. Simon was killing teenagers and children and families, women and stuff like that behind Negan's back, and defying orders, for example, like how he did with the Scavengers, with Jadis's group, that he killed all of them and Negan did not know anything about that. So it could be the same case. It could be that the Croat wants revenge on Negan, but it's actually Simon that committed that crime. Now, I do have another theory on what happened to Negan's family. Now, Negan and Maggie, they bump into each other. Negan's alone. Maggie's looking for Herschel, right? So what if the Croat kidnapped Herschel and the CRM took Annie and their child? Now that does seem possible. It's because Negan is looking for his wife and kid, and Maggie is looking for Herschel. So they both work together and they promise to each other that, okay, yeah, like, I'll help you find Herschel. And Maggie says that, okay, I'll help you find Annie. So I do think that that could be a possibility as well. I do think that because if Annie does not have any presence in the show, it could be a little tease at the end of it, and they could show that she's in a CRM base. Potentially she gets shipped off to Philadelphia where Rick is, and they could meet and she could show up in the Rick and Michonne spin-off, but who knows. Now I'm going to be tying all of these theories together. Now I think that what the show is going to be about is that the CRM is going to be behind everything, right? And within that 5-year time span between the finale of The Walking Dead and where the show takes place, I think within that 5-year span, Annie is going to be kidnapped by the CRM. Now, we don't know whether Negan witnesses it or not, or if he gets the PPP card, which was shown in Tales of the Walking Dead and Heath's last episode in season 7. Now, the PPP card is unexplained as of yet, but what many people think is that it is associated with the CRM, and whoever is kidnapped, they are left with a PPP card. That location is left with a PPP card, which it indicates that the CRM has actually kidnapped that person. Now, Negan could have a PPP card in his pocket, right? He's trying to track down Annie, and the only evidence he has is that card. Now, he could probably find out somehow or find some evidence that the Croat is behind this, or if they were taken to Manhattan, if Annie and Negan's child were taken to Manhattan, and that's why he agrees to go with Maggie's, because Herschel was taken in the same way. But again, we don't know, and it would be a very nice way to tie in the CRM and the Croat like that, and to actually have a callback to Heath's final episode, and to have a callback as well to the Tales of the Walking Dead episode, where it was all revolved around the PPP card. But that's it for today's video, and at the end of the day, this is all speculation and theories. Now, I just said all of this off the top of my head. I didn't write a script or anything. I didn't really think it all out, but this is what has been going through my mind the whole time. I really do think that the CRM is behind this in some way. I think that they're linked to the Croat, or if they're just separate from him and they are the main villains, and it's just for show that the Croat is the main villain of the show. Now, I hope you guys liked the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I do have another video in mind, which I'll be talking about the new leaks that came out for the Walking Dead Summit, so stay tuned for that.